Welcome to Pillow Talk Dreams, where every night becomes a story and every story leads you to peace. If you love calm voices, gentle journeys, and stories that help you drift into dreams, then don't forget to subscribe and let your nights be a little softer. Now close your eyes and let the story begin. The Moon's Secret Diary, the first page of light. There's a diary hidden somewhere in the sky. Not in a library, not in a home, but tucked behind a soft silver glow, the diary of the moon. Each night when the world quiets down and the winds fall asleep, the moon opens her secret book. Its pages shimmer like frost and the ink is made of starlight. Tonight, she writes again. The first entry, A world half awake, the moon begins with a sigh. Not of sadness, not of joy, just the sigh of something that has seen everything, yet still finds beauty in it all. Dear Diary, she writes in light, tonight the earth smells like rain and fresh hope. I watch the ocean hum lullabies to the shore and the wind carry dreams through open windows. Below her, the world is half awake. A sleepy town rests beneath her silver watch. A cat curls up on a porch. A candle flickers in a small window where someone somewhere is still awake, maybe reading, maybe thinking, maybe healing. The moon smiles. She knows every window, every shadow, every lonely soul. A house by the sea far below, there is a little house by the sea. Its roof is soft with moss, and the waves kiss its stones every evening. Inside lives an old man named Elior. He doesn't know the moon writes about him, but every night when he sits by his window with a cup of tea, he looks up and whispers, "Good night, old friend." And the moon, she blushes in silver. For hundreds of years she's listened to voices like his, the ones that don't pray, but simply speak softly into the night. The ones that don't ask for anything, just share a moment of peace. Elior never misses a night. He sits, his hands trembling slightly, holding the cup close for warmth. The ocean murmurs outside, and the moonlight fills the room like liquid calm. Sometimes he tells her stories about his late wife, about the garden that still blooms without her, about how he can't sleep without her laughter echoing in the walls. And though he doesn't hear it, the moon writes back silently, "I'm here. You're not alone." The sleep of stars high above, stars shimmer like thoughts. Each one is a dream someone has just fallen into. Some are bright, the dreamers are happy. Some flicker, the dreamers are restless. The moon keeps watch over all of them. She turns each page of her diary slowly, her silver light falling softly across the sky. She writes, "Some nights the stars are tired. They blink slower, they dim earlier. But even in their weariness they still glow. Perhaps that's what love truly is, glowing even when it's hard." She pauses, looking down at the earth. A couple walks by the riverside hand in hand. A dog dreams, chasing invisible clouds. A baby sleeps, its breath rising and falling like the rhythm of time. And the moon smiles again. If she had a heart, it would beat with the same rhythm. The lonely lightkeeper on the far side of the coast, there stands a lighthouse. Its keeper, a woman named Mara, lives alone. Every night she climbs the winding stairs to light the lantern, and every night she whispers to the moon, "Keep me company, won't you?" The moon, of course, always does. She paints Mara's face with soft white light, wraps her in a shawl of stillness. Mara's voice trembles as she talks about the ships she's guided safely home, about the storms she's faced alone. Her words drift into the sky like sea foam. The moon writes them down. Bravery doesn't always roar. Sometimes it just keeps the light burning, even when the sea is dark. Down below, the waves dance in silver, proud of her courage. And for a few quiet minutes, the world feels safe. When the earth sleeps by midnight, most of the world is asleep. Cities slow their pulse, lights fade behind curtains, hearts rest. Only the moon moves silently through the sky, her pages turning, her ink glowing faintly. She writes about a boy dreaming of flying, a girl imagining she's a star, a mother praying softly beside her sleeping child. And then she writes about you. Yes, you, the listener, the one lying quietly, your mind gently unwinding after the long day. She writes, "Tonight, someone is listening to me. They can hear my whispers between the words. I hope they know how loved they are, how calm the night becomes when they breathe slowly. I hope they sleep with peace tucked under their pillow." Her words float through the night, invisible but real. They drift like feathers, landing softly on your eyelids. Dream language. The moon has a secret. She understands the language of dreams. It's not spoken with words but with feelings. Warmth, calm, softness, trust. When someone falls asleep peacefully, she feels it like music. When someone cries into their pillow, she hums a song only their soul can hear. Tonight, the dream language hums gently, a harmony of hearts resting, the rhythm of the world slowing down, and in the middle of it all silence, the kind that doesn't feel empty but full, full of presence, full of peace. The moon's reflection. It's almost dawn. The moon closes her diary slowly. She looks at the reflection of herself shimmering on the ocean surface. The reflection wavers with the waves, gentle, imperfect, beautiful. She smiles, knowing that even her light becomes art when it touches the earth. Before disappearing behind the mountains, she writes one last line. "Dear diary, tonight was soft. The earth breathed, the stars rested, and even loneliness felt gentle. I will sleep now in the arms of dawn." And with that, the moon fades, leaving behind only a faint silver glow and a sky waiting to be painted with light. Soft outro tone, slow whisper narration. As the first light of morning touches the horizon, the moon's diary closes, but her whispers remain floating through your dreams, reminding you that even the quietest nights are full of love. Sleep peacefully. The moon is watching. The night returns quietly like a deep breath. The stars are early tonight, scattered across the sky like tiny memories the wind forgot to hide. And there she is again, the moon rising slowly, opening her secret diary once more. The cover glows faintly. The ink is still made of light, and the story of the world begins again. The second entry, the weight of dreams, the moon begins to write. "Dear diary," she whispers in starlight, "tonight I feel the weight of dreams." Dreams are heavy things, she thinks. They rest on hearts like clouds, soft but endless. Each one carries a story, a wish, a fragment of something unsaid. As she looks down upon the earth, she sees dreams wandering like travelers searching for a home. A dream of love drifts through an open window in Paris. A dream of forgiveness floats above a quiet farm in Kansas. And a dream of freedom dances in the desert air, waiting for morning. The moon knows them all by heart. She has watched them rise and fall for thousands of nights. The painter of stars in a small mountain town, a young artist named Clara, paints by candlelight. She paints the stars not as they are, but as she feels them. Some nights her stars are bright, almost alive. Other nights they're blurry, soft circles of gold and silver, fading into one another. She never paints the moon, though. Not because she doesn't love her, but because she says the moon is too alive to capture. The moon watches her work and smiles gently. She writes in her diary, "Some souls don't just look at light, they understand it." Tonight, Clara's brush moves slowly, her eyelids heavy. She's been painting all day, her canvas now glowing with wet stars. Before she falls asleep at her table, she whispers, "If only the stars could see themselves the way I do." The moon's glow softens, wrapping Clara's room in a silver hush. She writes back, "Though the artist cannot hear her, they do now. You've shown them." And when Clara drifts into sleep, The paint on her canvas dries into constellations the moon will never forget. The dream that got lost. Not all dreams find their way home. Some get lost between wakefulness and sleep, wandering through clouds, unsure where to land. Tonight, one such dream floats through the night sky. It belongs to a little boy who fell asleep too quickly, whispering a wish he forgot to finish. The dream is small like a spark, and it trembles as it drifts upward. The moon notices it, fragile and confused. She catches it gently, cupping it in her silver light. "What are you?" she asks softly. The dream flickers. "I was supposed to be a kite," it says, "but he fell asleep before he could imagine the wind." The moon smiles sadly. "So you never learned to fly?" The dream glows faintly. "No, but I still want to try." The moon takes a breath of light and blows gently across the sky. The dream rises higher, glowing brighter, its edges stretching into wings. And for the first time, the lost dream soars, a tiny speck of silver joining the stars. The moon writes quickly in her diary, "Even unfinished dreams deserve to fly." The river of night far away, a river cuts through a forest. Its surface mirrors the stars like liquid glass. Every ripple is a secret, every wave a whisper. Animals come to drink, deer, foxes, even owls, all reflected in the shimmering water. The moon loves this river. It reminds her of herself, calm on the surface, deep beneath. She writes, "Stillness is not emptiness, it is a kind of wisdom." Tonight the river carries fallen leaves, broken branches, and pieces of moonlight, 1,000 small symbols of change. And above it a woman stands, humming a lullaby her grandmother used to sing. Her song isn't loud, it's barely a breath, but it carries through the air like perfume, touching everything softly. The moon listens closely. For centuries, she's collected songs like this, small pieces of humanity woven into night air. She writes again, "Music is memory with wings." And as the song fades, the river sighs, carrying her melody all the way to the ocean. The sky remembers. Sometimes the moon doesn't write, she just watches. Tonight she remembers the first time she saw the earth. It was young then, wild, beautiful, untamed. Now it glows with cities, stories, laughter, and love. She remembers ancient fires, temple bells, children looking up in wonder. She remembers when people thought she was a goddess. She never was just a listener. She writes softly, "Perhaps that's all I was ever meant to be, a light that listens." Down below, time moves on, cities sleep, oceans breathe, hearts dream. The moon closes her eyes for a moment, feeling the heartbeat of the world. The letter from the stars somewhere, deep in the black velvet of the sky, the stars begin to hum. It's not a sound you can hear, it's something you feel. They whisper to the moon, "Write this down, sister. Tell them we see them too." So she does. "Dear dreamers, we see you when you think no one does. We watch the tears you hide in the dark. We watch your laughter, your hope, your small victories. You are not invisible. The sky remembers you." The words glow across the page like fireflies trapped in crystal. And though no one can see it, the moon smiles, her diary now heavy with light. The sleeper beneath the oak in a quiet field, an old oak tree stands beneath her silver glow. At its roots, a traveler sleeps, his backpack beside him, his heart at peace. He's walked for days without knowing where he was going. Now under the tree, under her light, he finally stops searching. The moon watches him and writes, "Sometimes rest is the destination." A soft wind passes through the leaves, brushing his face like a mother's hand. Somewhere inside his dream, he sees her not as a planet, not as light, but as comfort. And the moon feels his gratitude like warmth in her silver skin. The diary speaks back as the night deepens. The moon notices something strange. Her diary is glowing brighter than usual. The pages are moving on their own, fluttering like wings. Then from the light, a voice whispers soft, ancient, familiar. It's the diary itself. It says, "You write about them every night." But who writes about you? The moon freezes. No one has ever asked her that. She laughs quietly, a sound like falling snow. "No one needs to," she answers. "I am already written across the sky." The diary hums in reply, but even light deserves to be understood. And for the first time in eternity, the moon hesitates. Maybe the diary is right. Maybe it's time she writes about herself. The moon's memory, so she begins. "I was born from silence. I do not breathe, but I feel. I do not sleep, but I dream. I have no heart, but I love the earth as if it were mine." She writes about loneliness, how it used to sting like cold air, how she used to envy the stars because they had each other, how she used to wish she could touch the world she watches. Then she writes about acceptance, how she learned that love doesn't need closeness to be real, that watching over something can be just as pure as holding it. "I have learned that distance is not absence. Love travels on light." Before the dawn, the world begins to turn toward morning. The sky softens from black to blue. The stars fade, one by one, whispering their goodbyes. The moon knows it's almost time to rest. She closes her diary slowly, her last words glowing faintly on the page. "Dear diary, tonight I met lost dreams and gentle hearts. I learned that even silence can be love, and I realized that sometimes being seen isn't as precious as simply seeing." The first breath of sunlight touches her edge. The ocean sighs, the world wakes. And with one last shimmer of silver, the moon whispers, "Good night, dreamers, until tomorrow." The night has ended, but her words remain floating quietly through the sky, waiting for the next dreamer to listen. Close your eyes now. Breathe softly. You are part of her story too. Sleep well under the watch of the moon. The night returns again. Quiet, familiar. A velvet sky stretched endlessly across the sleeping world, and high above the moon awakens. She rises slowly from behind a curtain of clouds, glowing like a secret reborn. The world doesn't notice yet, but she does not mind. She has her diary, and her diary has her heart. The third entry, a faint light at the edge, the moon opens her diary and dips her invisible pen into the light of the stars. "Dear diary," she begins, "tonight I found something that has been missing for a long time, a forgotten star." She pauses. Somewhere in the endless black, far from the clusters of light and laughter, something flickers weakly. It is small, lonely, trembling. She leans closer, her light bending toward it like a mother's hand. And there, hidden behind centuries of darkness, she finds the star. It is gray and cold, barely glowing. The moon whispers, "Oh, little one, how long have you been here?" The star shivers, its voice faint as dust. "I don't remember," it says. "I used to shine, I used to dance, but then the sky got crowded and I stopped trying." The star that forgot itself, the moon, feels a pang of tenderness. She knows what it is to feel small in the vastness. "Do you remember your name?" she asks softly. The star flickers once. "No, I think it was something warm, something that made people smile when they looked at me." The moon nods gently. "Then you were loved." The star grows quieter. "But no one looks for me now." The moon's light trembles, and she writes in her diary, "Even the smallest lights believe they must compete to be seen. But true light is never forgotten. It only waits to be noticed again." She decides she will stay with the star until dawn. After all, what good is light if not shared? The story of before, as the night deepens, the moon asks the star to tell her what it remembers. The little star hums, its glow pulsing faintly. "I remember when the sky was quieter," it says, "when wishes were rare and sincere, when children looked up not for answers but for comfort." The moon listens, eyes full of memory. She too remembers when the world was new, when stars sang freely across the heavens. The star sighs. I used to shine for a boy who lived by the sea. He would wave at me every night before bed, but one winter he stopped, and I think I dimmed with his silence. The moon writes in her diary, her ink trembling slightly. When love is not returned, even light forgets its glow. The boy and the promise down on earth by the ocean, there still stands a small cottage. Inside lives a man, old now, with gentle eyes that reflect the sea. Every night he sits on his porch and looks at the horizon. He doesn't wave anymore, but his heart remembers. The moon looks down at him and whispers, "So this is the boy you shone for." The star flickers faintly, surprised. "He's still there." "Yes," the moon says softly, "but he has forgotten your name too." The star dims even further. "Then I truly am forgotten." But the moon shakes her light gently. "No, little one. If he once loved you, you still live inside his dreams. You are the wish that never left him, even if he no longer remembers making it." A lesson in stillness for hours, they float together in silence. The moon and the forgotten star. The star feels comfort for the first time in ages. The moon feels purpose. She writes, "Not all healing comes from remembering. Sometimes peace is found in being still beside someone who sees you." The night drifts onward. Below them the earth sleeps peacefully, the waves whispering, the trees breathing. And for a moment the star begins to glow again, just slightly brighter than before. The gift of reflection, the moon turns toward the ocean. Its surface mirrors her light, but also something new. A tiny flicker beside her reflection. The stars glow. She smiles. "You see, even when you think you are too small, your light reaches the sea." The star trembles. "But what if I fade again?" The moon replies softly, "Then fade gently. The world needs quiet light as much as bright light." The star hums. "Do you ever get tired of shining?" The moon looks toward the sleeping earth. "Sometimes. But then I remember, even if no one looks up, I am still here. My light still matters." And the star whispers, "Then maybe mine does too." The secret she never told the moon hesitates before writing her next line. There is a truth she rarely shares, even with her diary. She writes slowly, her letters glowing faintly. "Sometimes I, too, wish for someone to write about me, not as a light in the sky, but as a feeling. The way I touch the waves, the way I whisper to dreams, the way I keep secrets no one else can hold." She pauses, her light dimming slightly. "Perhaps that's why I keep this diary," she whispers. "To remind myself that even silence has meaning." The star listens quietly. Then it says, "Maybe one night I'll write about you." The moon laughs softly, the kind of laugh that sounds like wind through glass. "I would like that." A spark returns as the night nears its end. Something begins to change. The forgotten star, once dim and gray, begins to shimmer again, not brightly, not loudly, but steadily. The moon notices. "What's happening?" she asks gently. "I think," the star says, "I'm remembering how to shine." The moon's heart warms. She writes quickly as the sky begins to pale. Light never dies. It only hides until it feels safe again. The star glows a little more. The boy by the sea, now half asleep on his porch, dreams of a familiar flicker above the horizon. In his dream, he waves the same small wave from his childhood, and the star feels seen again. The farewell before dawn, the moon knows her time is ending for the night. The horizon blushes with gold. The wind begins to wake. She turns to the star and says, "I must go now, but I'll return tomorrow." "Keep glowing, even if faintly." The star nods. "I will. Thank you for remembering me." The moon smiles. "Always." She closes her diary one last time and writes before it fades, "Dear diary, tonight I met a forgotten star and remembered myself. I learned that love is not about being seen. It is about seeing someone and staying, even when they cannot shine. And with that, her light drifts behind the morning clouds. The world exhales softly. The sky turns blue. And as the sunlight takes over, the little star remains glowing faintly, peacefully, knowing that even the smallest light has meaning. The moon rests, her diary closed, her heart full. And somewhere in your dreams, her light still shines upon you, soft, silver, eternal. Sleep well. Night falls like a sigh. The sky turns velvet again, wrapping the world in quiet silver calm, and once more she rises. The moon, steady, glowing, eternal, she has returned to her watch, to her words, to her secret diary. She opens it softly, the pages gleaming like still water, and tonight the ink seems to hum before she even begins to write. "Dear diary," she whispers, "tonight I met the keeper of dreams. The fourth entry, the one who catches what falls far beyond the stars and deep. Then sleep, there is a place where dreams go when they are lost. Not the broken ones, not the sad ones. The forgotten ones, dreams left behind when people grow older and stop believing. And guarding this place is a quiet being made of starlight and kindness, the keeper of dreams. No one knows where they came from. Some say the keeper was once a comet who refused to stop glowing. Others say they are the first dream that was ever dreamt. The moon has never met, but I've never seen you before. The keeper's voice is gentle, almost human. That's because I live in what is unseen, between breaths, between heartbeats, between the moments when people let go. The keeper's garden. The keeper gestures for her to follow. They lead her into a vast garden, glowing faintly under invisible light. Here, dreams bloom like flowers, every color, every shape, each one moving slightly as if alive. Some are large and bright, pulsing with light. The moon gazes in wonder. "These are their dreams?" she asks. "Yes," says the keeper. "Every dream ever dreamt, every hope whispered in the dark, every wish that drifted into sleep." She kneels beside one that looks like a small feather. "What happens to them?" the keeper answers. "They wait until someone somewhere believes again. Then they return softly through the open window of the dreamer's heart. The moon's light flickers with awe. They never truly die." The keeper smiles. "Nothing born of love ever does." The forgotten dreams. The moon notices a dark corner of the garden. No light touches it, only a dim blue glow. She walks closer and finds wilted petals, broken fragments, unfinished shapes. "What are these?" she asks quietly. The keeper's expression softens. "These are the dreams people were too afraid to finish, the ones they gave up on." The moon touches one gently. It feels cold like rain. "Can they be healed?" The keeper nods. "Yes, but not by me, only by remembrance." The moon looks toward Earth where countless souls sleep. "So if someone remembers them even for a moment, they'll bloom again." The keeper smiles. "That's all it takes." The moon's light brightens slightly. She writes in her diary, "Dreams are like seeds. Even buried in darkness, they wait for warmth to grow again." The keeper's story. They walk further, and the keeper begins to speak. "I was once a dream too," they say. "A dream of kindness. Someone long ago wished for a world where no dream was ever lost. That wish became me." The moon feels quiet admiration. "And you've kept watch ever since?" "Yes," says the keeper, "but sometimes even I forget. That's why I needed you to find me tonight." The moon tilts her light gently. "Me. You remind the world to slow down, to look up, to remember what still glows." The moon feels a warmth she hasn't felt in centuries. "Then perhaps my writing does mean something after all." The keeper smiles. "It means everything. You keep their hearts connected to wonder." The broken dream. They stop beside a pool of still water. Floating above it is a dream, cracked and fading. It looks like a small mirror with missing edges. The moon bends closer. Inside, she sees flashes, a girl painting, laughing, crying, giving up. The keeper sighs. She used to dream of creating art that would make people feel, but someone told her she wasn't good enough. So she buried that dream. The moon gazes into the reflection, her voice softens. She still paints sometimes when no one's watching. The keeper looks up, surprised. "You know her," the moon nods. "I see her every night. I think she still believes just a little." "Then she will find her dream again," says the keeper. "They always do when love returns." The moon writes quickly in her diary. "Faith in yourself is the light that wakes every sleeping dream." The dream weaver as they walk. The keeper waves their hand gently, and a tapestry begins to form in the air. Threads of gold, silver, and blue weaving together like rivers of light. "These are tonight's dreams," the keeper says. "They are being woven as we speak, every sigh, every heartbeat, every soft wish." The moon watches closely, mesmerized. "Do they know you do this for them?" The keeper shakes their head. "They don't need to, it's enough that they feel peace." The moon's glow deepens. She whispers, "You are like me, then loving in silence." The keeper smiles. "And you are like me, believing in what cannot be seen." The lesson of the night. The garden hums softly now, full of sleeping color. The keeper places a small, glowing flower into the moon's hand. "This is for you," they say. "It's called hope. It never fades even when the sky is empty." The moon looks at it, the petals shimmering like memory. "I will keep it in my diary," she says softly. "Good," says the keeper. "And when you feel dim, open it and remember this: you are not just light. You are the space where dreams begin." The moon's heart fills with stillness, a peace she cannot name. She writes, "Tonight I learned that dreams never die, they only wait for love to remember them." Before dawn, the garden begins to fade as the first breath of dawn stirs across the horizon. The keeper bows. "It's time for you to return." The moon hesitates. "I wish I could stay." The keeper's voice is warm. "You already do in every dream you touch." The moon smiles, closing her diary softly. "Then I will watch over your garden from afar." The keeper nods. "And I will keep the dreams safe until your light returns." The final lines of the night. The moon floats back through the quiet sky, her diary resting in her hands. Below, the world stirs, hearts beating, eyes fluttering, dreams fading softly into morning. Before she hides behind the sunrise, she writes one final line. "Dear diary, tonight I met the keeper of dreams and learned that every hope, no matter how faint, still breathes in the dark. The world may forget its dreams, but I will not." And as she fades into dawn, the flower called hope glows faintly inside her diary, waiting for the next night to bloom again. The night is over, but its comfort remains. The moon rests, her heart full, her words glowing quietly through your dreams. Sleep deeply, dear listener, for every dream you've ever lost still remembers you. The night has returned, quiet, wide, and full of secrets. The world lies beneath a blanket of silver light, and the moon, ancient, gentle, glowing, opens her diary one last time. Her pages shimmer faintly, as if they already know this will be the final entry. She takes a breath of starlight and begins to write. "Dear diary, tonight I must keep my last promise." The fifth entry, the moon's farewell for countless nights. The moon has written her heart across the dark sky. She has spoken with stars, danced with oceans, and listened to the sleeping world dream. But tonight feels different. The air hums softly, not sad, not heavy, just full. It is the sound of endings that are not truly endings. It is the quiet of peace. The whisper of the earth below her. The earth sighs. Forests breathe softly, oceans curl in slow rhythm, mountains shimmer under her light. The moon leans closer, listening. And from every corner of the world she hears whispers, children dreaming, lovers holding hands, hearts remembering. She smiles, for she knows that her diary has done its work. Her words have become lullabies for the tired, comfort for the lonely, light for those lost in the dark. I was never meant to shine alone, she writes. My glow exists to remind them that they are never forgotten. The return of the keeper, a soft glimmer appears at the edge of the night, gentle, golden. It's the keeper of dreams arriving once more. Keeper, the moon greets, her light trembling with affection. You've come to say goodbye, the keeper smiles. There are no goodbyes between dreamers, only promises. The moon tilts her light. And what promise shall I make tonight? The keeper reaches out, holding the small flower she gave her before, hope. It has bloomed, she says softly. And now it belongs to them, the dreamers below. The moon looks down at earth, tears of light glimmering in her eyes. So I must give it back, the keeper nods. Yes, for every heart that forgets, you must remind them that love is still growing. The moon clutches the glowing flower. Its light pulses with warmth like a heartbeat. Then I promise, she writes, to let my light fall gently upon them so they may find the dreams they thought were lost. The gift of light, the moon drifts lower, her glow soft and silver blue. The world below begins to stir, not waking, just feeling. Her light touches a child crying in her sleep, a traveler lost in memory, a woman painting again after years of silence, an old man smiling at the stars. Each heart glows faintly as her light brushes it, a tiny spark of hope awakening. The keeper whispers beside her, "They will not know it came from you. They will only feel peace." "That's enough," the moon says, her voice trembling. "That's all I ever wanted." The diary of the sky, the moon's diary, begins to shimmer brighter than ever before. Its pages open on their own, and all her words rise into the sky, glowing softly, swirling like silver wind. Her stories, her secrets, her dreams, they scatter across the heavens, becoming stars. Every word becomes a light, every line a new constellation. And from Earth, when people look up at night, they see not just stars, but the diary of the moon. Every twinkle, she writes, is a word I once whispered to the dark, a promise that no night is empty. The final conversation, the keeper watches, silent, glowing with pride. "You've done what few ever could," she says softly. "You turned loneliness into light." The moon smiles faintly. "And you turned forgotten dreams into gardens." The keeper bows her head. "Our stories will live in the spaces between dreams." The moon's voice becomes a whisper. "Will they remember me?" The keeper answers gently. "They already do, every time they find comfort in the night, every time they look up and smile." The moon's glow softens, peaceful and complete. "Then my work is done." The promise to the sleeper before closing her diary, the moon turns one last time toward you, the dreamer listening now. Her voice becomes softer, closer, as if speaking directly to your heart. "If you ever feel small or unseen, look for me in the quiet sky. I am the light that never judges, the friend that never sleeps. My glow is made from every dream you've ever dared to believe. So sleep, gentle heart. You are safe. You are loved. And even in your darkest nights, I will keep my promise to shine." The closing of the diary, the final words appear on the page like a sigh. The moon closes her diary slowly, her hand trembling with grace. A single tear of silver falls onto the cover, turning into a tiny star. Then, with one last soft smile, she whispers, "Dear diary, I have loved them all, and that is enough." She places the diary among the stars, where it floats forever, a quiet book of light drifting across eternity. And then she fades behind the sunrise, her promise echoing softly through the blue sky. "Every night will carry a piece of my light until they dream again." The moon sleeps now. Her diary rests open across the heavens. Every word she wrote glows inside you, calm, gentle, timeless. So close your eyes, breathe softly, and remember, you are part of her promise. You are part of her light.